And good evening and welcome to another edition of The Way We See It. My name is Ralph Williams, your host, and my co-host. I'm bringing him up right now. Right up here. Here we go. Bill Cannata. Hang on, Bill. We're gonna go into another screen here. There we go. That's better. All right. Yeah. Bill, welcome to the show tonight, and it's great to have you on as always. And we have another great show for you tonight. We have a lot to talk about, including the first week of office for Sarah Almirado, our new county executive here in Allegheny County. And we're going to talk about the winter weather that we just had this weekend. Did your city, your municipality salt their streets? I don't know. I mean, because I heard some stories of a few people that told me where they live, their streets weren't salted. So, I mean, so we're going to find that out as well, what's going on there. And your comments, as always, in the comments section. And I have mailbag tonight as well. And right now.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Yeah, you better call somebody, all right? You better call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, get them here. All right, you know it. There it is.
Yeah. Coco, you're
Oh, yeah, let me talk to you there. And then, so Coco wants to be part of the show tonight, huh, Bill?
I don't know what she's whining over there. I just had her out a couple minutes ago. I don't know what she's doing. She's whining.
I see.
If by chance she gets too whiny, I'll just put me to the side there, and I'll let her go out real quick. But
no, that's fine. She can come in. I mean, or whatever you need to do there.
Yeah,
I got you. So, all right, we're brought to today. We're in this First Line Consulting Services Studios. 1-877-926-6982 is the number to call. First Line Consulting Services Studios will build you. First Line Consulting Services will build you a website. They will manage it for you, and they'll upload all your videos for you at one low monthly price. All right, this first segment is brought to you by Sleep Pittsburgh, 412-462-7858. Give Sleep Pittsburgh a call tonight, and or actually give them a call tomorrow, and talk with the folks at Sleep Pittsburgh about a great mattress deals. They also have, they also have futons, day beds, lift chairs, and a whole lot more. No credit check financing, 8th Avenue in Homestead. Get on their website as well, sleeppittsburgh.com, and check them out. Sleep Pittsburgh for the best sleep tonight. Okay, Bill, let's get ready with our blast segment. All right, and all right. The school teacher in Louisiana who had sex with a 15-year-old boy, and get this, in her car in the school parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm blasting that teacher in Louisiana tonight because I got to tell you something right now. This is unacceptable. A school teacher having sex with somebody or with a 15-year-old student in the car in the parking lot of the school. All right.
Didn't even wait to get to the motel, man. Right there.
No, not at all. U.S. Steel is my next blast, Bill. U.S. Steel for lying to the public. They have commercials out right now that say that they're under new ownership. And where do you see our new ownership? And the U.S. Steel is getting better. Well, guess what, U.S. Steel? You just lied to the people. And if anyone out there believes anything now that U.S. Steel says, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, and you need to get your brain examined, because U.S. Steel now is starting to really lie when they say that they're under new ownership. The ownership hasn't even been approved. The paperwork hasn't even been filled out, and we have politicians fighting it. So, U.S. Steel, stop lying to people. You've lied enough to Western Pennsylvania. That's the way we see it tonight. PIAA. We're going to talk about this later, Bill. The PIAA.
Gotcha.
If you know who they are, they're the people who are the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association. Deals with the high schools. All right. I'm blasting you tonight. And I know this isn't a sports program, but that doesn't make any difference to me tonight because I'm blasting you regardless. And tomorrow I'm going to eat you alive on Sports Corner too, because tomorrow night on Sports Corner, I have Aliquippa head coach Mike Warfield in studio tomorrow at 4:45 on Sports Corner.
Nice.
And we're going to discuss this travesty coming from the PIAA. And I advise everybody in Aliquippa, all right, and I'm blasting the PIA tonight for trying to push Aliquippa up to a 5A from a 4A. Now they put them up into a 5A because they say that there's too many people transferring to Aliquippa. Aliquippa's success, every year they want to move them up and up and up. Well, what about Southern Columbia, PIAA? What about them? Oh, well, I get emails. Oh, Ralph, you're just crying spilled milk about Southern Columbia because they beat Westinghouse by 1 point in the state championship. No, I call it like I see it, folks. And way I see it right now, way we see it right now, folks, there's something wrong here with this picture.
Yes,
and that's
there
what
is.
PIA tonight. North for Sales Public Works. I'm blasting you tonight because I found out from some folks I know that live in North for Sales that you didn't salt the streets this weekend at all. None. You didn't salt any of your streets this weekend. What are you guys falling asleep? Last year it was Mount Lebanon. Now this year it's North for Sales. And I'm blasting you tonight for this because that's unacceptable. Next.
Hey, brother, I got to pick her out. Can you put me back on the side?
Yeah. Okay. And I'm blasting you tonight, North for Sales, for not salting the streets. What happened? You didn't want to show up for work? What's your problem? That's a safety problem. Somebody could get into an accident. All right? And why are you making things more hectic for the folks who pay your salary and pay the taxes in North for Sales? And if I'm a taxpayer, I wouldn't give them anything. That's the way we see it tonight. All right, Bill will be back with us shortly. Boeing, I'm blasting you tonight. You know why I'm blasting you? For the way you've been making these 737s, and there's all these door latch mechanism problems, and there's this problem, and there's that problem. Well, Boeing, I'm blasting you tonight for this because that's unacceptable. That is a safety problem. Next, comprehensive health care for ripping off the government and overbilling. Wow. Hospitals, healthcare facilities. You overbill, you screw the government, you screw taxpayers, you screw your patients by overbilling. Thank you. That's why I'm blasting you tonight for this. That's unacceptable. Comprehensive healthcare system. All right, that was our blast segment. It was brought to you by Sleep Pittsburgh, 412-462-7858. Sleep Pittsburgh for the best sleep tonight. All right. Next, our next segment's brought to you by draft412.com. Draft412.com is a comprehensive email or a comprehensive website that talks about all different types of drafts. They talk about the NHL, the NBA, they talk about the NFL and Major League Baseball. All the different drafts, they give you the skinny on all the athletes that could be drafted or will be drafted. They also have several podcasts. Check out draft412.com. $9 a month for a great e-magazine right in your inbox. Draft412.com. All right. Our bonehead segment tonight. All right, here we go. You guys ready for this tonight? All right. The job recruiter who hired a guy who quit because he didn't, because the guy, because he quit his job to make more money and he rehired him at that price. This job recruiter tonight is out of a job. That was a real big boneheaded move there. The guy who stole $3,000 from a trading card, or $3,000 worth of trading cards from Target store, and then got caught, and then took them and tried to sell them at a hobby shop. All right. Okay, Bill's back with us there.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right. Hey, dog's got to take care of Mother Nature.
Yeah. She was whining too much.
We're on our boneheaded segment right now, and I was just talking about how the job recruiter who hired a guy who quit his job because the guy wanted more money at this job, and this recruiter ended up hiring him back to the same job for more money, and the recruiter got fired. All right. All right.
Uh,
And then the guy who stole $3,000 in trading cards from Target from a Target store, and he got caught, and then he tried to sell them out on the street or at a hobby shop or whatever. Yeah, that's a real boneheaded move there. All right. A guy who tried to take a gun through PIA. Oh, it's starting already, Bill. It's starting already. Here we go. 2024 has just started, and already we have another gun trying to go through PIA. But this knucklehead, I'm going to tell you about this guy. He didn't have a permit to carry it, and he was a convicted felon that wasn't even supposed to have a gun.
Well, you know what's happening there, brother, don't you?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Hey, what have I always said about Florida? No offense to your daughters living down there. I think that sandy air, that ocean air is getting to people's brains.
It's got to be doing something.
This Florida server stole from people's credit cards. This Florida server got busted and got fired, and also got charged for theft. I mean,
Right.
Right. All right. A guy who stole $100,000 from a Michigan casino and got caught. How wonderful that is. Oh, we know about that here. A manager at Rivers, we talked about this last week, stole from Rivers last week.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes,
Yeah. Now it's happening in Michigan, too. All right. That is our boneheaded segment tonight, and that was brought to you in part by draft412.com. You want to know anything about a draft, get a hold of draft412.com, and also their e-magazine, $9 a month, right in your inbox, draft412.com. All right, our next segment is our ridiculousness segment. And the ridiculousness segment is brought to you by P6 Auto Detailing in New Kensington. Call P6 Auto Detailing today, 412-965-6578. Check out their Facebook page for some specials. Get the year started off right by getting your car detailed by P6 Auto Detailing in New Kensington. That number again, 412-965-6578. P6 Auto Detailing. All right, ridiculousness, Bill. Here we go. 3 IHOP employees fired for not serving black patrons. Denny's got themselves in trouble with that over the years. That's why some of these Denny's restaurants, you don't see too many of them anymore. A lot of them got, and it happened here in Pittsburgh. Remember, I think the one on McKnight Road and a couple of the other ones that had to close up because they got busted, with racism and got sued and all that stuff. So now these 3 IHOP employees got fired. And after we're done with this ridiculousness, I have a story about this that I want to tell that I personally saw myself at a serving job that I had. All right, next. Westmoreland County there, Bill, that's where you live. Westmoreland County car dealer charged with 800 counts of bad business practices. 800 counts of bad business practices. How do you like that one? 800 counts. Okay. Tell me that's not something else, huh? So anyway. All right. Okay, let me see what we got here. All right, here we are. Boss denies manager's promised promotion. Manager gets store shut down. They were going to demote this person. That's ridiculous. Wow. That's crazy to be doing stuff like that. All right, next. Let's see here. All right, boss denies promotion. All right, let's see here. Bus company offers insight after teen with Down syndrome dropped off at a closed school. And you know what? That was ridiculous what happened there. I'm sure you heard about the 17-year-old girl that was dropped off by ABC Transportation over at Stowe Rocks High School. School wasn't even in session that day. And they were on remote learning. And she was dropped off there at the school, made her way down to Broadway Avenue, got on a bus, took the bus into downtown and was missing, thanks to a bunch of volunteers. But that's ridiculousness there by ABC Transportation for doing that and causing that kind of a problem. And that was our ridiculousness segment, brought to you once again by P6 Auto Detailing in New Kensington, 412-965-6578. Let the experienced professionals detail your car. Okay, Bill. I was working at Golden Corral, one of the restaurants here in Pittsburgh, one of the two that, well, now we're down to one, all right, in the Pittsburgh area, as you know. So I'm working there, and every time blacks would come in, some of the servers wouldn't serve them. It got so bad they would walk up to the serving area and actually ask for service because nobody would give them their drinks. Okay, so I took a table full of a table full of about 10 or 12 African American people, and I waited on them. And I actually ended up getting a $20 tip from them because I was nice to them. And they said that I was the nicest server they ever had at Golden Corral. They said they have to get up and get their own drinks. They have to go to the serving station to get somebody's attention to give them drinks. Okay. And all I heard was a bunch of complaining. And I shoved that $20 bill right in the face of a bunch of young servers who were pissed because they didn't want to, because they claimed they didn't get a tip. Well, if you treat people right, you'll get a tip.
Yep.
And for refusing black patrons service at a restaurant, shame on you. Shame on you for that. Okay. You ought to be ashamed of yourself because you never know what anyone will give you. Look at some of the servers that we've had over the last few weeks, Bill. $3,000, $2,200 tips. And they got fired for it because the owners were jealous because they made more money than them in the course of a day. But what I'm saying is that this is not acceptable to me at all. And I'm sure to you it's not acceptable either.
Absolutely not. This is ridiculous. You know, these people have always got to put a mark on somebody. It isn't even in the, you know, being 100% Italian. Even the Italians sometimes get that. The Jewish people and everybody else. But that's just ridiculous because, like you said, you never know. They're already judging the black people as soon as they walk in. And oh my God, here comes it. Oh my God, here comes it. Yeah, I can just hear it. I can hear it. You know, the prejudiced people is just, I would say they're walking on thin ice. That's what I was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I saw it in the cab business too. I was sitting at the William Penn one day, and I was there for a little while. Some black couple got in my car or in my cab, and they said, we want to go up to the Hill District to Macedonia Baptist Church. I took them up there. It was about $3-4, maybe a little less than that on the meter. They gave me a $10 bill. They said I was the nicest cab driver they ever had.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then all I would hear from people is, well, every time I get these trips, I don't get a tip. Well, why do I get a tip and you don't? That's because it's the way you treat people.
That's right. You want respect, you give respect.
That's right. That's right. But for those IHOP employees to do that, and I'm glad they got fired. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you know, that sticks in my craw when people do stuff like that. I think it's unacceptable, and I'm glad IHOP fired them.
Absolutely.
All right, we're on our key topics tonight. Bill's going to have some driving report coming up later on. I got something tonight as well. You know, it's the beginning of the year, and already we got idiots out here.
Oh, yeah.
Already, the beginning of the year. And about a week or two ago in the last several shows, whether it's Ralph's opinion or the way we see it here or anything else, I've made comments about how we need to fix our lives this coming year. Need to change what we're doing. Well, it turns out that this guy that was driving this red SUV didn't get the memo, or didn't watch the show, or didn't listen to Ralph's opinion. I was at a restaurant out in Robinson Township, and I'm not going to name the name of it because they don't pay me. All right. And there was a sign up that said no parking, and there's a light pole there. All right. This person, and I don't know if they were handicapped or not, but they had a handicap placard on their dashboard, decided to park in this spot that said no parking, and then goes and parks so close to my Jeep that I couldn't even when I was coming out of the restaurant with my mom, I almost couldn't get in my Jeep. My mom can't drive. So what I would have had to do was be inconvenienced and go back into the restaurant and find out who that red Jeep belonged to, or that red SUV belonged to, and have them come out and move it. Now, this is the second time in 2 years I've had this problem. I had this problem last year. We ate at a Haas's, okay, and I'm not going to say what location. We ate at Haas's, and somebody did the same thing. Came right up, parked right next to my door, and I couldn't get in. I couldn't even. I mean, I don't think the skinniest person in the world could have squeezed through there to get in their car door or to get in. And I had to go in. Manager gave me an attitude. I had to go in and ask him to page who drives this vehicle, and it was a brown car. Come on out and move it. Okay. So this person here that had this red SUV decides they're going to park right next to my vehicle. Now I had enough room to fortunately get in, but my mother had to lift my feet and my legs up and help me into the Jeep because I couldn't get my own feet in there because I didn't have enough room to open the door. Okay. So do you see what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on this, Bill?
It's ignorant. Ignorant. That's all that is. You know, you're in a park like that. It says no parking. I know exactly what you're talking about. No parking means no parking. You're in a handicap, and that ignorant person pulls up that close. That's just ignorant. It's a for me. You know what I mean? Forget about everybody else. It doesn't matter. How you get out of your car. That's basically what he's saying. He parks so close to you, or So how the hell are you going to get out of the car? It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's stupid. Just dumb.
And then here's another thing too. I've noticed nowadays police departments don't want to do their job. I had a meeting for a DJ gig out at Monroeville one time at a restaurant, and I couldn't get a parking spot, a handicap parking spot, so I had to park in sort of a regular spot. And then it turns out that when I seen this car that was parked in a handicap spot with no placard on it. And I called Monroeville police and I said, look, I says, you got a car here. I gave them the model, license plate number, all that stuff, right? Monroeville police, I saw them sitting on the side of the building looking on a computer. I didn't see them do anything. I didn't see a ticket. I come out of the restaurant and out of the Olive Garden. It was the Olive Garden out there. I come out of the restaurant. I get in my Jeep and I start on my way. And would you know it, this person wasn't even eating at the restaurant, just parked in a handicap spot with no placard. Okay. This is where we are in society today, guys. And then and gals, and now I have to listen to, well, who are you? The handicap police? Yes, I am. Okay. Yes, I am. All right. Because state law requires that you have a handicap placard of some kind or a license plate. And when you have none, and I don't want, well, I'm handicapped. Okay, maybe I'll give you a little bit of a pass. Okay, I get it. All right. Or if you're elderly and you can't really walk, I'll give you a pass. Okay. But don't do that. All right. Because you know what? That's ignorant. That's wrong. And, here we are now with this bill. And to me, it's unacceptable. But that was the story of something that I had happen to me. Before we get to our key topics, why don't you give your driving report for this week?
Well, folks, the new year, of course, is here, and we are here, by the way. Happy New Year to everybody. So the situation was over in, it's kind of like Swissvale, and then you come down through the tunnel, and then it becomes Wilkinsburg. There is a nice little underpass where you go through. It's high enough to get a bus through, but I'm not going to say the name of the company who did this. I want to know on how this truck got stuck long ways in that tunnel. Blocked everything off. They had to, what I understood from what I seen, they had to.
Underpass, right?
What was that?
It was an underpass.
It was an underpass. And I don't know how they did that. Somebody
was
maybe
that 2 men in the truck that I
Yes,
saw? Is that what that was?
That was it.
Oh my gosh, I saw the reports on that.
So they blocked that off. So I don't know what kind of drugs, what you were doing. I have no idea what the hell was going on with those people, and even how to get that. If you viewers and listeners, if you guys would have seen that picture, there's no way No way that that person did that. And then I'll give you one more today. So I was driving on the Parkway, going
Right.
towards Monroeville. Okay,
Right.
traffic was moving real nice flow of traffic. You know, and you know how the Parkway get backed up.
Right.
I'm going through, get ready to go through the tunnels. There's more cars in the right lane before we get to the left and go into the tunnel. So what happens? I'm driving, and like I said, if I was on my cell phone or messing around with anything, I would have tore this guy up. Right before we get into the tunnels, he decides he wants to blaze over into my lane and almost clips my front end of my car. Again,
Oh,
what are
whoa.
you smoking, people? What are you smoking? You got to have the weed. I'm sure it's the weed. It's got to be the weed. Or maybe you're drunk. I don't know what the hell that was. A little bit faster. If I wasn't paying attention, been an accident. And then we would have been on all the networks because of that person did what they did. It's unbelievable. I'm out there every day and I see so much stuff. I can talk about this all day long. You know that, brother.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's
Absolutely.
unbelievable.
Hey,
It's
Bill. Hey,
unbelievable.
Bill. Go ahead and keep on talking here. I have to go for a minute, okay? I have to
Yeah,
excuse myself.
yeah, no problem. So anyway, guys, you know, I'll still talk about the reports. It was just unbelievable in that person, and not knowing, I didn't know what they were doing, but if they would have been just a little bit slower and I would have been faster, it would have been a big accident over on the Parkway going up towards Monroeville. It's just ridiculous. The way that they drive, the way these people drive, and everything else. You know, guys, be careful out there. You really got to be attentive because if you're not, something bad's really going to happen. And after that, you know, God forbid somebody could, you know, be killed or seriously hurt into the accident. And then there you go. I just think that in this world, of course, everybody knows it's a for me world. And that's exactly how this is turning out. Just like me and Ralph were talking about that. There he is. So it's a for me world, and they don't care about anything. They don't drive it, especially. I'm telling you. And some of the worst drivers out there. I'm not going to mention age or anything in between, but it is unbelievable. I mean, they think driving a car is like playing a video game. That's exactly what I think. And so there you are. There's two reports in one because of those people, brother. Just because I got stuck in that underpass. I looked at that picture and I laughed so hard. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. Jesus.
Wow.
It was absolutely
Yeah,
crazy.
I saw that there. I said, whoa, what did you do here? And you know what's funny, Bill? These companies are so desperate to hire people, they don't even care who they hire. And if somebody
Exactly.
drives like a numbskull and keeps on doing that kind of stuff, oh my, that's whoa.
I don't
Ugh.
even know how they got that truck in there like that, brother.
I don't
Long
know how
way.
they did it either.
I mean,
I can't. I saw it. I mean, I saw the report on it. I saw the picture of it. And I said, oh my gosh, really? I
I
couldn't
mean,
believe it. I mean, you know, it was,
viewers, viewers and listeners, if you know what I'm talking about, and you see that little tunnel coming down to where you're coming out of Wilkinsburg to go into Swiss Valley, you come down there, the back, kind of like a back road, go there, and you make that left through that tunnel. But what I'm saying is that if you guys know what that looks like, then imagine a big box truck stuck long
stuck
ways.
right.
I was like, what?
Oh
How?
my gosh.
How? How? I just don't know. Don't know.
All right, we got a few things to talk about tonight here. I didn't mention a few things earlier, but some of this is carryover topics that I had from today's Ralph's Opinion. I was on late today at 11:30. I was invited on to a sports podcast on YouTube at 11 a.m. by a guy I know who does a sports podcast. It's actually Ryan, my producer. He does a podcast Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. called Two Dumb Yinzers. And him and his friend Mike and Darby invited me on. So I said, oh, that was great. So I was on for a few minutes with them. And then I started my show at 11:30. So some of these topics are carryovers, which is great. We can do that. And so All right, first, let's get started. Our key topics are brought to you today by Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. You ought to call Mata 724-2010-500. Call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning for furnaces, radiant floors, humidifiers, heat pumps, air conditioning, snow melt, and UV lighting. Give them a call today. That number again, 724-2010-500. Check out their Facebook page, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. And when you do call, ask for Bill. Tell me you heard it here on The Way We See It. All right. All right, our key topics today, we're going to talk about, guess who had her first week on the job? Sarah Almirado, our county executive. And I've said this a few times to many people privately, and I've said it to many people here. I'm willing to give this woman an opportunity as far as I'm willing to give Sarah an opportunity to show me what she has and what she can do. And so far, I'm a little bit impressed. I'm impressed with the fact that she showed up at the jail board meeting. I'm impressed with that. All right. Okay. I was impressed about the fact that she made some decisions that might not be liked. Like all non-union employees in Allegheny County that work for the county will get a raise. All right. That's not fair to the union employees. But she's so far has made a couple decisions, and she's showing up at the jail board meetings, something that I was told Richie Fitz didn't do, okay, at all. I heard he very seldom was ever personally there. He would send an assistant from his office. So we're going to see what Sarah does, and she has some good people. I have to give her credit. She has some good people in her transition team. I'm waiting to see what happens here. She's for transit. She's also Sam DeMarco came on the news and said that she's supposedly supposed to be more of a moderate than a progressive, but he said that the moves that she's made right now, some of the stuff that she has decided to do, is starting to become more progressive. Okay, Bill, what are your thoughts on Sarah Almirado?
Well, like you said, this is her first week. We really got to see on how her footsteps, where it's going to take her.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much all on that for me, because you have to see what she's going to do. You have to see what she said about anything else, about what she did or what she's going to do for Pittsburgh.
Right.
And you know that better than I, brother, because I'm not like all into the politics like you are, like that,
Right.
But let's see what happens next week. Let's give her, this is the first week on the job. Let's see what happens.
Right.
See whatever she's going to accomplish and whatever. And let's see. I mean, what is she accomplishing in Pittsburgh, Ralph? I'm not quite too sure what.
Well, she has a lot of. She says this was her main campaign thing. An
Okay.
Allegheny County for everybody.
Okay. Well,
all right. So, and that's actually a progressive statement, because now you're talking about making it an Allegheny County for thieves and homeless people and all that other stuff. Okay. Now, I do know one thing. She has instituted a homeless person who's handling the homeless for Allegheny County through the Human Services. She has started that now. So it's like a czar, like somebody who, will go around, like I told you in Raleigh, where they have a homeless czar that works for the city of Raleigh, and he goes around this guy and he makes sure that they have places to stay, or he goes around and gets them off the street from panhandling, okay, and all that stuff, okay. There are churches who cooperate and put these people up for a little while, and they have built more shelters in Raleigh for the homeless, and in Durham as well for the same thing. And Los Angeles has a czar, but Los Angeles is real bad. So is Portland, Oregon. You got these people with tents living on sidewalks, blocking up businesses and things like that. Now, what I'm angry about the county is that they lied. They said first that there was 200 homeless. Now they're telling us there's 400 homeless, and they still don't have enough room for everybody around here. So I'm not real confident right now. If this is the way her administration is starting off, lying to people, I think they need to get their facts straight. I think they need to get their data straight. And I like what she wants. She wants to do something for the homeless. She wants to get them off the streets and do something and clean up, what's going on. And I don't blame her, you know. And the
Yes.
interesting part here is, Bill, and I think you'll agree with me on this. We've said what we've said on this program about Ready Eddie,
Yes.
Ed Gainey.
Yep.
Okay, Mayor Ed Gainey of City of Pittsburgh. We've said what we had to say. All right. But the one good piece of good news is that Rich Fitzgerald didn't work very well with Ed Gainey, or refused to, actually, I hear.
Right.
All right.
Right.
That kind of surprises me because when I went to his campaign picnic, Bill, at Highland Park, Rich Fitzgerald was there. And I was quite surprised that he wasn't able to work with Ed Gainey. At least Sarah's willing to work with Ed Gainey. And it's nice to see that happen because you need to work together, the city and the county. All right. And I think that that's a key ingredient if you want to get anything done. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. I'm going to have to dig in some information to, see on what and everything she's trying to do so that next week.
Her biggest thing is, I know they have to fix the county jail, and they already had a death down there.
Right.
Toward the end of the year, they had a death.
I heard about
another death down there. So no, it was a suicide. Okay. And when I watch the jail board meetings, I see and I hear people come up and complain, and I don't mean complain, but I mean make statements about what goes on at the jail and everything else. Okay, the jail does need to be fixed. Schumann Center needs to be open. She did agree with that. She did say Schumann Center needs to be open. Okay, so right there, I think she's I have to wait. We're at the beginning of this with her, and we have to see what she's going to do. And I'm willing to give her an opportunity. I really am. I'll give anybody an opportunity. You see?
Yes.
So
absolutely, you have to, because if you judge too quick, man, you don't know what's going to happen. That's the reason why I never judge anybody. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Because of the simple situation, there's nobody perfect. People are going to try to do their jobs to make sure everything is secure, and that's awesome. But you don't want to try to always just book by its cover. That's what a lot of people do, and then of course you wind up being right, which I don't care if you're right. I'm right or wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm going to tell you. But the thing is that let's see what she does and see how she progresses into next week and her term
and the weeks and months to come in her term. Yes.
Absolutely. So I am going to start look in the background for her and get more information myself on her.
All right, so that's the way we see it tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
This is something I want to really talk about tonight here. The WPIAA.
Oh, yep.
PIAA, Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association, has decided that they want to move Aliquippa up another class. They were in class 4. All right. Now they want to move them up to a 5A instead of a 4A. And every year that Aliquippa wins a state title, they keep moving them up. Okay. And I got a bunch of emails because I made a comment about Southern Columbia. Now, those of you who don't know, Southern Columbia is in 2A, and they have been in 2A, and they too have won state titles. They beat Westinghouse 2 years in a row for the state title. This year, the Westinghouse lost by 1. So now everybody is emailing me telling me this. Ralph, you're upset because Westinghouse got beat by 1 point, and you're crying spilled milk and sour grapes. No, I'm not. All right. I'm telling you what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is a travesty of justice here in regards to this thing with Aliquippa. Aliquippa is a school that that needs to stay where they were in 2 or 3A, not to be bumped up to 4 and 5A. That is a safety problem. Why does it seem like we have issues with safety? What is the problem with safety? Why? I blasted Boeing because the 737s, are unsafe again. All right. An Alaskan airline door mechanism latch came off, and now a United Airlines just happened. Same thing with these 737s. Safety in a nursing home, safety in a hospital, safety out on the road, safety. Okay.
Ooh.
The athlete's safety is in jeopardy if you move them up to 5A because Aliquippa doesn't have the players to go through 5A. Okay? They don't have the talent of players to do this. All right? And I want to know why the PIAA does nothing to Southern Columbia. All right? And I'm going to expose Southern Columbia until PIAA does something about this because I think Southern Columbia is paying them off or there's some kind of a political thing here or whatever. And here's the bad part about this bill. It's bad enough we got politics in the NFL, we got politics in college football, and now we got politics in high school football. I mean, there is politics, and now it's gotten worse with the PIAA. It's bad enough we got parents trying to kick coach or fire coaches because little Ronnie or little Johnny didn't get an opportunity to play. It's bad enough we have parents complaining about this, that, and whatever, and what they did to Coach K out in Pine Richland. All right? Politics enough, and now PIAA has to make more politics, Bill. I'll get your thoughts on this.
There's so much. There's so much that just runs through my mind, but I agree with you on the part where you had said about somebody might be getting, their pockets lined. I always, somewhere along the line, even got, and rest of my mother's soul, she always said that we would watch football, and the one year we were watching, and it was the Steelers, really, I can't remember, but they won, by a lot, like three scores. They won by. My mother goes, now I don't understand this. 1 week you're playing well, and you slaughter, and then the next week you're playing like garbage. So somebody's getting paid off, right? I always thought that.
Or the bad officiating. How about the bad officiating in the Southern Columbia Westinghouse game? Oh, well, if you're crying spilled milk again because your team lost. No, it isn't because Westinghouse lost. Westinghouse lost because of the officials.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, you was telling me about that. That is ignorant. And there it is.
Luther Dupree, as my witness from Steel City Sports World. You know Luther?
I do.
Right? Luther Dupree is my witness. He was on the sideline with Westinghouse. He saw everything. So please don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I watched the game. These officials at the end of the game, when Westinghouse was up by 7 points, at the last minute of the game, they gave it to Southern Columbia, the officials. How do you call the same penalty on the same student for the same penalty? How do you, or the same player? How do you do that? Something wrong here, Bill. Something wrong.
And I'm assuming that, like you said, you just picked a player, and if that player is playing well or sad. With their performance, and then all of a sudden here comes the officials, and that's the one that they attack. Yeah. I'm telling you, brother, I don't care. I whoever's listening, watching, I believe seriously, even in high school football, like we're talking about right now, I believe somebody's lying in their pockets. I'm telling you.
I get emails about because I criticize high school officials. Oh, well, if you don't know what it's like out there, man, we got parents screaming and hollering, and we got this, that, whatever. Hey, if you don't like doing your job, then don't do it. But let me tell you this much: don't email me screaming and hollering at me when I'm speaking the truth.
Yes,
The officials cost Westinghouse that game, and I don't want to hear no more about this. And again, it boils down to who? Southern Columbia.
There it is.
Southern Columbia. How all of a sudden you call the same penalty 7 times on the same athlete?
Just like I said, see, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Okay.
But they had it out.
And this is a crying shame because the PIAA is a good organization, and now they have to be, with this stuff. And I got to give it to Aliquippa. I got to give it to the school district, the head coach of the football team, and now politicians are getting involved, finally, all right, and saying something has to be done here.
Well, brother, like I said, I always stick to that story, and
and we're gonna hear tomorrow on Beaver County Radio tomorrow, live in studio with me, Coach Mike Warfield,
like I said,
coach of Aliquippa.
So how many times, even from the football status of high school all the way up to the NFL, and
Yeah.
here comes the officials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If listen again, I should have put this in there earlier, but if officials don't like a team, they're going to pick somebody like you said,
Somebody, yeah, exactly.
and they're going to go ahead and penalize the hell out of them.
Right. Here, I'll give you another example. Remember that a few games back, I think it was the one game the Steelers lost. TJ Watt made big comments about how he was being held. And the
Yes.
officials ate us alive in the
Yes.
next game. They were
Yeah.
calling every penalty imaginable. Well, do
Yes.
your damn job. And people won't say anything about anything. Do your damn job. Okay? It's that simple. All
Yeah.
right. And I've criticized officials from college all the way up to the NFL and now and the high schools. And I get emails all the time from these high school officials telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. And I need not to say anything because it's a hard job. You know what? I don't care how hard the job is. If you can't do it, then don't. Okay, I don't want to hear no complaints about anything. All I know is what I saw, and what I saw was a travesty in both ends of this deal. And guess what it is? Southern Columbia.
And again, that you don't like the job is hard, right? All that's all good and happy, but you opted to do that. That's what you wanted your career to be.
Yes, that's right. You chose to do that.
Exactly.
Like we chose to do this. And
Yes.
if we go out there and complain that we don't like doing this, people are going to say, then why are you doing it?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay. You know, there's so many jobs out there now, Bill. If you don't like your job, move on. Go do something else. There's jobs everywhere.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. The other
Many
day,
times have we had discussions on this program about laziness in this country.
A lot. It never fails. A lot. We did. So
right.
It's just unbelievable. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just gonna, and I'll leave it at that.
And I've seen crazy parents at these high school football games. I had a buddy of mine that drove a cab, and we used to go to high school football games together residually, and they passed away. And then I stopped following going to games. But when we did go to the games, okay, I saw obnoxious parents there about their little Johnny or their little Stevie or little Ronnie can't get in the game. You know, oh, you son of a, and I get it. I mean, I get this, and I've seen enough politics from some of these high school teams when these parents who are on a school board or they're a politician and their little son isn't playing starter and he's the worst player there is, but he's not starting. So he's going to threaten the football team. I will fire the coach. Okay. Some school board member in Pine Richland had an issue with Coach K because his boy wasn't playing. So what does he do? He goes and gets his boy to come on the news and complain that there was, or make some kind of ridiculous allegation that there was hazing going on within and Coach K got fired.
Seriously, he actually went to the news and he could. That's crazy.
On the news. The kid was on the news doing this.
That's crazy.
He was on the news doing this.
What in the hell is?
Got fired. Well, Coach K sued for that because technically none of that happened. Okay.
Right. Well, yeah, but
I don't know Coach K personally, but I've talked to some people who do know him. And they told me he's not like that at all. And there were parents that screamed and cussed out the school board, Bill, and they still just fired him. So it was somebody on the school board whose little kid didn't get in or couldn't get in the game or whatever. And that school, and a lot of them school board members ended up stepping down. And the one that started this stepped down. So there's something going on with that too.
Absolutely.
But that's fine. Because Coach K had Mars in the playoffs this year, and Mars next year is going to have a really good team from what I hear. So he's coaching at Mars and doing well. Pine Richland got a good coach. They got John LaDawn, who used to coach Penn Hills, who took Penn Hills to some championships. So, and Pine Richland, they were in the thick of some things too this year. So what I'm saying is there's politics now, and it's all around now. And if you think it's in the NFL and in college, it's in high school football, it's in midget league, it's in it's in the church league or whatever league, it's in some league. there's politics involved.
Corruption is all around, brother. And it comes down to who, I'm telling you, I'll stick to my story, and I mean it. It all comes down to who is paying who. It always was like
Right.
that. That's exactly the way. And my mother nailed that. And you could sometimes you see, look, just an example. When the Steelers explode and they start playing really good football, right? And they start to blow teams out. Okay. Then all of a sudden, the following week, they lag. What's going on with that?
Yeah,
they lag.
exactly.
What in the hell are they doing?
I think of that too. I think the game is fixed, and I know it is. It has to be fixed.
Absolutely. And I know people out there agree and disagree, but that is 1,000% my opinion on that, because even like I said, somebody is getting line pockets, and it's corruption all the way around.
All the way around.
Especially politics, brother. You know how politics work.
Oh, politics is a nasty game. It's a nasty game.
It's dirty.
I may be getting into that nasty game, but you know what? I'm not gonna take it from these people. I'm not gonna take no jive or anything. I'll tell it like I see it, and that's the way it's gonna go. And if you don't like it,
absolutely. It's a shame, but it is. Maybe a little Johnny don't know how to play so well. They're trying to win something.
That's why little Johnny's not playing.
Exactly. So this is why he in practice he might need a little bit more. The coaches have to push him a little bit harder, and if he's not giving that 100%,
I'm not going to do that because my daddy's on the school board.
Yeah, right. That's it. See, so you know what happens there, right? Here comes the kid with daddy's on the school board. Here he goes. So little Johnny's benched because again, maybe a little Johnny don't know how to play well, or he just totally sucks. Period. He just sucks.
Exactly.
And that's the way. That's the way. Just like you say, I see
it tonight. That's the way we see it tonight, right?
Absolutely. Exactly. It's crazy stuff.
All right, let's move on to a couple things here. Mary Lou Retton. Now, I don't know if you know, Mary Lou Retton is sick. She's got cancer. She had some issues with paying her bills. So her family set up a GoFundMe page. They raised over $100,000 to pay her bills off. Okay. Now, I'm not sure exactly what the story is here, but now the people who on the GoFundMe page come to find out that some of this money was left over and not paid just to pay her bills and medical expenses. They want to know where this money is. Now, my question to you, Bill, and everyone out there today, is it anybody's business once you give that money to them people where this money goes, technically, on a GoFundMe page? Okay? I had a GoFundMe page. Well, I'm not going to explain it, but I had a GoFundMe page, and I didn't get a dime. All right? I've seen some of the people who have put things up on GoFundMe pages. They need money for their rent. They need money to fix their car. People say, go out and get a job. But, they get real nasty with it. They don't give them anything. All right? So now you have all these people for this GoFundMe page asking questions to the family of Mary Lou Retton as to where some of this money that was supposedly supposed to go to medical bills and bills, what's left over, where did it go? Now, some people are saying, that's none of your business. And some other people are saying, well, maybe we should know where it goes because we gave you the money. All right. But see, GoFundMe pages, you set one up for when your grandson died, correct? Right, Bill? You said
somebody. No, somebody on the other side. Yeah. So, yeah. Somebody from who knew me and when I used to deliver papers.
Right.
And she went to my daughter, and then that's how she set it up when the grandbaby was murdered. So that's what happened. So yeah, but Dad, listen to this. Just like you said, I know there's stipulations in that because
the money was going once they gave the money to the GoFundMe page.
So from how I understand that, the money, especially that magnitude of money for $100,000, they actually keep track of that. Believe it or not, this is the GoFundMe stuff. So because people go on there and I'll do a GoFundMe page and I can go ahead and spend this money however I want. No, that's fine. But then when they come back, if a larger amount of money, they track that. So that's how that works, because if they're giving that, now I don't know why all that is, but I heard that they track
Right.
what it is. And if it's out of content, they will go ahead and they will question you to where this money went. So yes, that's what happens with the GoFundMe. Because
Okay.
when my
Yeah. See, other than the one I posted, and I took it down. It was for something that I needed help with, and I knew I wasn't going to get any money for it, but I tried. You know what I mean? You
well,
know,
that's
and
all you can do.
you know, I know some people who I saw, and I looked at some GoFundMe pages, and there's people there that need money for rent or to fix their car or whatever. And then you get these people with their smart comments. Well, I'm not giving you anything. Why don't you go out and get a job? Well, maybe this
Yes,
person can't get a job. Maybe this person can't work, or
right.
whatever. I think it's wrong that these people who gave this money to Mary Lou Retton's GoFundMe page are now asking questions as to where this money went. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Go.
gave it to them. That's like
Yeah.
well, that's like trying to get a loan, or going to a public agency and asking for money, and they go, "What's the first thing comes out of their mouth? What do you need it for? Or
What do you need it
what's
for?
your
Exactly.
plans with it?" Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They
And I've
track
even
that.
had
I mean,
people ask me, "What do I need the money for?" When I ask them if I could borrow money, and they go, "Well, what do you need it for?" You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, when my grandbaby was murdered and they put that
Right.
together, they got, I think, over close to $40,000.
Wow,
Now,
that's great.
yeah, it was, because then my daughter, she paid off her car and all that other stuff and everything. But then when it got down to the nitty gritty, I heard she was questioned by the people for the GoFundMe. You know how it works. I'm not, but
Yeah,
that's
I'm
how
not.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I know that they do track you after a certain amount. I think it is. So
Right.
it's kind of goofy. It's kind of that's what I was taught. I don't know about the ins and outs, but I just let you guys know that's the way it goes. If somebody out there who's either viewing or listening, please drop it in the mailbox there. And if you know more about that, but that's what I was told. So
Yeah, Ralph
that's the
737 at gmail.com. If anyone knows more about
yeah.
the GoFundMe page, let us know. So I mean, again, I don't know much other than what when I posted it didn't do anything, and I took it down because I was advised by some people to take it down, so I did.
Well,
Okay.
absolutely. And plus, not only on top of that, you only had it up there for a week or so, right?
Right. Yeah, I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know what it
So
was, but I'm not
yeah.
going to mention it here. So,
No, I got you.
but
I got you. No.
oh yeah. All right. Our next key topic, real quick, and we're going to get into some general topics before we go here, because we're starting to run out a little bit of time here. But anyway, is Philadelphia? The city of Philadelphia is paying squatters to leave. Paying squatters to leave homes because landlords are having trouble, and I guess the court system and state laws and all that.
Yep.
Even some squatters have even gone out and gotten an attorney, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Well, this law says that once we're in, we can stay, and all this and that." And I learned a little bit about that watching World's Worst Tenants when it was on Spike. I learned a little bit about tenant law a little bit.
I
Okay.
got you. Yeah.
And but I hear that once they're in, you can't get them out. There's all these procedures you got to go through. The state needs to change some of these laws on squatters. And Philadelphia now, the city is paying squatters to leave. They're actually giving them money to leave. That's fine if
Well,
that's what you want to do. But again, here we are, progressive thinking.
yeah.
Because I wouldn't give them a nickel. I'd arrest them, I'd put them in jail, and I'd say, go get yourself a lawyer. I want to see what you're going to do next.
Yep.
Instead of
Yeah.
kissing their butt,
I mean,
that's what I would do.
they're paying money for
Okay.
them to get the hell out of here because I can't. It's like, man, I'm speechless on that because like What about the cops and stuff like that? Can't they get them out? I don't know. I don't know really too much about that stuff, but I can tell you.
Well, we got our progressive magistrates at it again, who I forgot to blast tonight. They let 4 other
Okay.
people out that were arrested for. One was arrested for aggravated assault and selling drugs, and the other 3 were for distributing drugs and selling drugs. And once again, one of these progressive district justices down in the Raymond Court let him out for a dollar bill. Again.
Yeah. I see.
That's why nobody wants to be a police officer, and I don't blame them.
Exactly. Well, that's the same thing when I was school police. It was absolutely incredibly crazy in there. Listen to me real quick, because I know we're getting close to being out of here. But when I was school police,
I got a couple more topics and some bills to pay here. So
okay. So real quick, when I was school police at Alderdice, they stationed me there, right? So there was a riot happened in Alderdice, and they ripped down the metal detector. The metal, they dismantled the metal detector because later on we found out that there was going to be a war going on between whoever, like Crips or Bloods, whatever the hell that works. But
blue, red,
they ripped down the metal detector. The metal detector was totally ripped down and on the floor because they were getting things in like guns and knives and so forth. That's why they did that. You should have seen all the people in the courtroom when they came down to go to court. You should have seen it. People crying. It's ridiculous. Oh, my baby didn't do it. Please, no, my baby didn't do it. He don't have a gun. No, my baby.
I've heard so many of that. It's just,
It is.
And I get emails about some of that stuff too. They're like, well, you're something wrong with you. I said, ain't nothing wrong with me. Something wrong with you.
It's just unheard of,
when you sit out there and let district justices let criminals out on a dollar bill.
A dollar bill. Like I said, go rob a bank. You'll be all right. And dollar bill. It's crazy.
Yeah. Paying squatters to leave. Paying them to leave.
Yep.
I wouldn't pay them a nickel. I'd arrest them, throw them in jail. I'm going to call my lawyer. I said, we'll go call him.
Oh, call lawyer.
I'm tired of people, kissing the criminal butt. And it's just, well, to save the city or to save whoever on landlord on legal fees, we're just going to pay them and tell them to leave. Pull them out, yank them out of the house, and say you're done.
That's it.
Throw their belongings out in the dumpster. Make them pay for the dumpster. Throw their belongings in the dumpster, and let the landlord take back possession of his property. I don't understand. Oh, well, we got to follow this law, or we got to follow. No, there's no law when you're stealing somebody else's property and you're living there. That should be considered theft because you're living there and not paying rent. Okay, and you're a squatter. And most of the time, it's people on drugs, homeless people, that kind of thing. So. But anyway, all right, let's talk real quick, Bill. Our topic session, regular topic, is brought to you by Fold and Travel Mobility. Are you handicapped in a wheelchair as I am? Do you need a folding power chair so your life can be a little bit better when you go out and do things? Well, guess what? I have the solution for you, foldandtravelmobility.com. Get on our website or call 1-877-GOTFOLD. It's called 1-877-GOT-FOLD. And foldandtravelmobility.com. Let the experts help you get into a folding power wheelchair, and get this, they have financing. So if you can't afford to pay for it up, see if you qualify for financing and get it from Fold and Travel Mobility. Don't let your life be miserable because of a folding power wheelchair. Get one from foldandtravelmobility.com. All right, some announcements here. Another one of our sponsors, Bon Jovi Journey Tribute Band. They're playing this Friday at Jurgles, 8:00 p.m. at Jurgles Rhythm and Brew in Warrendale. Head on out there for Bon Journey, and that's their latest performance. As soon as I get them, you'll get them. But Bon Journey will be playing at Jurgles. They sold out the New Year's Eve party before it even happened. They were sold out. So, at the Winooski Winery. So, But I just want to let you know that's how good they are. All right. Topics here. Hey. TGI Fridays is closing 36 locations across the country. The bulk of them are in the Northeast, New Jersey, New York, and some PA. Bill, What has happened to TGI Fridays? Let me ask you that question, and I have the answer to it, but I want your answer. What do you think?
If they're closing, would you say 36?
36 locations across the country, and
Something's
they've closed
wrong.
other ones.
Something's wrong. I don't understand. I don't understand that. I mean, if they bankrupt, are they on it?
They haven't done anything with bankruptcy yet, not that I'm aware of yet. Okay, they haven't done anything with bankruptcy, but I will say this: I believe that Applebee's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Longhorn, places like this, um, and I don't think there's enough money these days with this economy to go around, or this inflation that we created because we don't want to work. Okay. You would have the money to go to TGI Fridays and wherever. I think that there is not enough money to go around for everyone to patronize with everybody. I mean, I think there are people set on going to Applebee's, or they're set on going to Longhorn, or they're set on going to, and I'm looking at restaurants, Bill, that are similar to TGI Fridays.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
similar. They serve appetizers, steaks, ribs, that
Right,
kind of thing.
right,
Okay.
right, right.
And I got to tell you, TGI Fridays had some good ribs. When I ate them, their appetizers, you and I had their all-you-can-eat appetizers a few
Yep.
times. So I just don't get why. And I know some locations in Pittsburgh here have closed up. The one in North Hills, the one in Robinson.
Oh,
I,
did
the
they?
closed up. Yes,
I didn't know that. Gee, see,
some of them were in bad spots where you couldn't see them, or they're in the like down the hill from the mall, and you in a secluded area where you can't even see them. Okay, some of them were right there in the thick of things with all these other restaurants. Okay, uh,
uh,
so I'm just wondering if TGI Fridays, if the luster has gone away, or it's just that they just fell out of favor with people. Maybe service was bad, maybe food was bad. I interviewed Chef Brian Duffy, a world-renowned chef, and he
yeah.
told me he don't eat out anymore. He said because now the restaurants are paying the same cook that they pay $10 an hour to. They're paying them $25 an hour just to get them to work there, and they do the same bad work that they did when they were there for $10 an hour.
See, I don't. I mean, what happened? They're falling off. They're falling off the ship because when me and you went, the
Yeah,
food was good. There
the
was
food.
nothing wrong with it.
I haven't been there for a long time. It's been a
No,
while
neither
since
have I.
I've been to TGI
Yeah,
Fridays.
I haven't been there for forever, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that whoever owns the chains, or I think they're probably independently owned, but they're just using the name because,
Mhm. Yeah.
and like you said, maybe there is not enough.
They're underperforming restaurants, which
Right,
means
right.
they could either be around places like in a strip mall where there's like 1,000 restaurants there of every kind. You know what I
Yes.
mean? That might
Yeah.
be in these locations causing this problem.
Yeah.
And now a lot of places are shutting down. Even big franchises have made billions of dollars over the years. Bill, they're shutting down underperforming stores and restaurants. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy what I'm seeing right now, and I just feel bad for the fact that TGI Fridays. In fact, I haven't even seen a commercial for them, and I don't even think they do that all-you-can-eat appetizer anymore. I don't even know. I mean,
Probably not. If they're closing down 36 restaurants, brother.
yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine not. I mean, that's almost like a when if you go to Red Lobster and here comes four big dudes and see all you can eat shrimp, they'd be like, hey, we must have shut
Hey,
down
they
the
raised the
restaurant.
price $5. They raised the price $5, and they said they were losing millions of dollars because people were eating too much of it. Okay, all right. Remember I told you about the Chinese buffet that
Yeah,
was in China? Of
yeah.
all places, who would think there'd be a Chinese buffet in China? I mean, have you seen what Oriental people look like? No, there's not too many fat ones, or
No.
not too many of them that do all you can eat. You know what I'm saying? You
Yep.
know?
That's what I said.
I mean, I got nothing against Oriental people. I mean,
No,
I'm just, I'm just stating a fact. I've never seen a unless it's a sumo wrestler from Japan or something,
yeah,
or you know what I mean. I've never seen an Oriental that's a Chinese person that's been fat. You
no,
know,
you're
so
right.
and I just got. I mean, you'd be amazed at what I'm hearing right now. But Red Lobster literally said they lost millions of dollars on that, and they had to raise the price, and because people were eating too much of it.
No,
So
it wasn't it $19 before or something.
it was $15 2 years ago. Then it went up to 20, and now it's $25
I got you.
because of pigs.
Well, that's right. When I walk into
No,
the
I'm
Red
just
Lobster,
kidding, man. Eat all you want. I mean, that's what it is.
hey,
That's like I told you about my friend George. He
mm,
went to a couple Chinese restaurants
yeah.
or buffets. The one time he went back the second time and they kicked him out for eating too much. They told him, "Don't even come here. Leave.
Well,
Go. Get out."
when you walk
The
into
guy
a
came
Red,
out from the kitchen with an iron pot in his hand and said, "Get out of here. Go, leave. Go, go, go." I would have
listen,
died to have been there laughing to see that.
when you walk into the Red Lobster in North Hills, my picture's there. It says, "Watch out for this guy. Do not serve him." And I'm like, yeah, for the all you can eat
I
stuff.
had
Uh,
I had a racial server there.
so
It was
really,
racist. Oh yeah. Yeah. Remember when I was dating
yeah.
I've dated some
No,
African American women. And
yeah,
I was there for, a date. We were sitting there having dinner and throwing our plates down on the table and giving my girlfriend at the time a dirty look and throwing stuff down on the table. She ordered a beer. The beer almost spilled all over because she threw the beer down and it came out of the thing. So I called the general manager and I said, "Do you want me to call my lawyer?" I said, "Because I'm prepared to do so." I said, "Me and my girlfriend, is black, and she, we were sitting at your location, and so was being racist because throwing stuff down, giving my girlfriend a dirty look." So they gave us, so we got 2 free dinners on that. And then on top of that, when we went back the second time for our second dinner, she was this server who was a woman was moved to hostess.
oh no,
To hostess.
oh my gosh.
All right.
You probably see that. Welcome
But
to Red
I would
Lobster.
have fired her. I would have automatically fired her
Oh my gosh,
because
hell yeah.
there's no reason for that. We just spoke about that before. You
Well,
know what I mean?
Can you imagine walking in and get out of here because there's no more. I don't care I don't care how many you got in the party. Get out of here. Goodbye. Get the hell
Yeah.
out of here. Go down the street. Go to Applebee's.
Right. Yeah, I've had some, African American girlfriends, and I was in that Red Lobster with one, and was treated poorly, and
So so
I've eaten there many times at that one in North Hills, and I've never been treated this poorly. But
so so sad. So
it
so.
is sad.
Oh
It
my
is
god.
sad. It is sad. But I mean, maybe that happened with TGI Fridays too.
Of
I've
course.
seen Denny's restaurants get in trouble. A lot of them had to close down because of lawsuits, because of African American black folks complaining that they didn't get served at all, or white couples or white people that came in got well, they call them they call us Caucasians now. So anyway, yeah. Anyhow, that went in and got seated ahead of them, and they were told to stay there and wait. You just it's ridiculous, but maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I don't have all the information, but I do know they're closing more locations down for underperformance.
Wow.
Or maybe this economy is bad. I mean, 70% of all Americans right now, whether they're in business or not, are living paycheck to paycheck. 40% of Americans this Christmas actually had to button down the hatch for Christmas this year. There was no excessive spending.
Well, that's awesome because
40%.
I mean, I'm not saying anything about the retailers, but that's awesome because maybe people got a little bit of a grip on what was going on. With everything else. You don't want to
Yeah.
go out there and be in credit card debt for millions of years. And I'll say millions of years because if people have more than one credit card and that credit line is low, then what are they going to do? They're going to go to the next one. They're going to go
Right.
to the next one, and just keep.
Hey, I'm having issues trying to get sponsors and advertisers for my shows because uh, businesses are telling me they don't have the money, or they went ahead and spent. They don't want the business. I've told you the stories. They don't want the
Yeah.
business because they don't have the help. I'm
Right.
also hearing that some of these businesses are folding. I'm trying to help some business. I see someone on TV complaining. Try to help them out. Oh, I don't know. Everybody's buttoning down the hatch, and it's terrible. And I'm feeling the effects of it now,
Of
trying to
course,
get more sponsors and advertisers
of
for
course.
I have to pay to put these programs on, and everything else. And everyone thinks this is all free. No, it's not. I pay for a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean?
It's gonna,
Equipment.
it's
You
gonna
know.
take it's gonna take off, brother. It really is. I feel
Oh,
that
I
way.
know it is, but I'm telling you what I'm experiencing
No,
right
I
now.
understand.
I
No, I
mean,
understand.
I've
Yeah,
sent out 250 emails and maybe got 4 responses, and 3 of them said, "Oh, I'll talk to you in January."
wow.
We're coming up now on the middle of January, and I haven't received an email or a phone call.
Right.
250 emails, and I'm lucky if I got 4 returned emails. And I
That's
spoke about ignorance a couple times on both Ralph's Opinion and on this program.
I got you. Yeah, I
All right.
remember that.
How in the world do you send out 250 emails and don't get a response? I don't care if you tell me no. I'd rather you tell me no than not tell me anything at all. And then I
Yes,
think, well, you know what I mean?
yes,
Then some people have been honest with me and others I think haven't. And
right.
but that's my opinion.
Well, the honest, it's so hard, especially in this world today. Honesty is very hard to trust. How, if you meet a person, you don't know really if they're lying or how honest they are about whatever. You know what I'm saying? You really got to be careful and cautious with everything. It's crazy, brother. You know that. It's absolutely crazy. And these people out there, it's just ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous world, and we're all living in this thing, brother. What they call, I don't know, a barrel that spins around. Like you used to go
Oh
down
yeah. Yeah.
into the amusement parks and they had those big things. You walk in, you gotta get out of there spinning like this, and then if it catches you, it feels like you're gonna go up and around. It was like a big barrel that you walked in and it was spinning. Did you ever see that one, bro?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah.
feels like you're gonna go up and around. It's crazy, but
All right.
that's
Our closing thoughts here are brought to you by Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio. Get on their website today, www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com. Check out their website. They have some great package deals, 45 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh, right up the hill from Steubenville, Ohio. They have some package deals. One of them is $95 for 20 pounds of ground beef. You can't beat it. Hay grain
no,
beef, some of the freshest beef you'll find. They also have roasts and all different types of steak deals. So check out their website, www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com. Get directions. Head on up to the farm if you live in Western Pennsylvania. Head on up there. Talk to Caitlin and Taylor, the owners, Hillcrest Farm, Richmond, Ohio. All right, Bill, let's have your closing thoughts and I'll have mine, and then we're on our way to another show in the books.
absolutely. Well, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. Second of all, I just want to say hello to all my daughters, Minnie, Mooch, and the Megsters who live down in Florida, but Megs lives up here. I just thank you guys for watching and listening. You guys are awesome out there, and we appreciate it. And until next time, next Monday, I'll see you.
All right, Bill, and my closing thoughts are this. Life isn't fair, and I know that. But when you take a sport like high school football and you turn it into politics, that's when I have a problem. And I don't want to hear no more emails from people saying that I have a problem or I'm crying spilled milk because my Westinghouse team didn't win against Southern Columbia. No, I'm calling it like I see it. And that's what the purpose of this program is. And that's what the purpose of this is. I want to be different than we want to be different than the other media people in this town who don't tell it like it is, who sugarcoat everything, who hide, who kiss butt, who do this, that, and whatever. We don't do that here. Okay. And I'm not going to, because you're upset with me. And I don't care if you're upset with me. I don't. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, whether you like it or not. And those of you in Southern Columbia, take a look at yourself in the mirror. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, because if you're doing what I think you're doing, it's wrong and it needs to stop. And I hope that these politicians that are really supposedly getting involved here, I hope they do something and crack down on this and Southern Columbia gets in trouble. Okay? Because this is not fair to Aliquippa. It's not fair to Westinghouse that Southern Columbia gets preferential treatment both from officials and the PIAA. And you can send me all the emails you want. I don't care. I really don't. Okay. And I don't want to hear from all these families. My dad's an official. How dare you talk about my father like that? I didn't talk about your father. I said some officials are bad officials. Not everybody's a bad official. Not everybody's a bad person. Not everybody's this, not everybody's that. But you're making it look that way. And that's fine. Again, when it comes to this injustice, that's when I get mad. Okay? And I have a right to be mad, and you should be too. And if more people like you or me that like me would get mad, what goes on in this country wouldn't be going on. And why? Because we don't get mad because of nothing, and we don't care. And it's going to continue to happen, and it'll never change. That is the way I see it in my closing remarks tonight. All right, Bill, thank you for being part of the program as always.
Always, thank you.
I'll be in touch with you. Don't forget tomorrow night, Sports Corner Radio Show, 4 to 6 p.m. Beaver County Radio, 95.3 FM, 1230 on the AM dial. Live on Beaver County Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Also live on their website and also app. And also live on www.rwmedia.org. Check out Sports Corner Radio Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Ryan behind the controls. I have a guest list for you that's phenomenal for tomorrow, as always. Matt Venzel from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette to talk about the Penguins. He'll be on from 4 until 4:15. And then at 4:30, I have Mike Zimzak coming on from Amped Up Sports to talk about Steelers and Ravens because he covers both for Amped Up Sports. And then at 4:45, I have a special treat for you. Not 45 minutes in the studio with head coach Mike Warfield of the Aliquippa Quips. All right, high school football team to talk about this travesty of the PIAA and the season that Aliquippa has had. And your phone call, 724-843-1888. And we're also going to have the last fake Mike Tomlin press conference of the year, probably, unless they make it past the playoff game. And also, we're going to have Smoking Jim's boxing report as well. And at 5:30, we have our new wrestling segment. At 5:30, we have Randy Ledyke. Randy Ledyke will be on to talk with us from Michigan about independent wrestling in Michigan. All right, so we have a big show for you tomorrow. It is a huge show. So make sure you tune in somehow, whether it's on social media or listening in live on the website, or if you get the signal and you can listen in on the radio, do so. Listen on your phone. Call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, get them on for tomorrow. Because if you miss tomorrow's show, it's a crime. All right? If you miss tomorrow's show with me, Smoking Jim Frazier, and Ryan behind the controls, Sports Corner Radio Show. Can't wait to hear from you. And also the mailbag, Ralph Williams 737@gmail.com. Don't forget, we also have the comments section here for this program. So if you want to put your opinion in there, you're welcome to it. And I didn't read any mailbag things tonight because it was mostly that stuff from Southern Columbia. All those people over there saying I should keep my mouth shut. Hey, you know what? We're building an audience, Bill, whether it's negative or positive. I don't care. At least I know somebody's listening in the middle of the state.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro. But like I said, it's going to grow. Like you said, either one way or the other. They're going to hate it or they're going to like it. It's just
Right.
the way it is.
I don't care. Hey,
Huh?
you know what? You watched the movie Private Parts with Howard Stern, right?
Absolutely.
Remember the part when Pig's Vomit was asking the guy about he says, why do they listen to him if they hate him? They say they want to hear what he wants to say, what he's going to say next. You never know what he's going to say next.
Absolutely.
Okay? So you never know what I'm going to say next. And you might not like me, but you'll listen because you respect my opinion. And that's the way it is in this business.
Absolutely.
One thing we did forget to talk about tonight, Bill, was I don't know if you noticed or not, and I think I told you, but it's official now. It's out there. Odyssey Broadcasting has filed for bankruptcy.
Wow.
And Odyssey owns CBS Radio. They own KDKA TV in this town.
Wow.
And they own several other radio entities. Okay? They're filing for bankruptcy.
Wow.
All right? And if you know the radio business like I do, I don't know if I think I'm happy right now where I am. I could work for Odyssey if I want to, but I don't think I want to now. I'm
Obviously
in the
not.
right place at the right time in the right position.
Absolutely.
Because if I think what's going to happen when a broadcasting company files for bankruptcy, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out. Okay. High priced DJs and talk show hosts that think their doo-doo don't stink in this town are going to get cut. They're not going to have a job. Okay. You're going to hear a more syndicated program and something called automation.
Mm.
You're going to hear a DJ from maybe Seattle, Washington, or I'll use this Omaha, Nebraska that does voiceovers. That's what you're going to hear. You're not going to hear live broadcasting anymore because Odyssey doesn't have it. They're filed for bankruptcy. So, and my advice to you is Tuesday night Sports Corner radio show. That's my advice to you because you better get to know me fast if you want local sports broadcasting. Other than me and a guy with 2 M's. Other than that, that's going to be it. Okay.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
I'm just letting everyone know that tonight. Happy New Year. Because it's going to be a happy one for me,
Right here. Hey,
but
tell the
not
boys.
for Odyssey in bankruptcy court.
Hey, tell the boys I said hello.
I will do so. I
All
will.
right.
I'll be speaking to them probably over the weekend.
Okay.
I got another Steeler post-game show going on, and I got one of them on, or 2 of them on, and then I may be on Sunday on another show with all 3 of them. So we'll see what goes on.
Gotcha.
So also catch me this week. I'm going to be on with Bubba Brewer, the Triple B's podcast. He's broadcasting his show at 9:00 every day this week on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Twitter platforms. Because of the Steelers going into the playoffs against Buffalo, he's broadcasting every day this week. So catch me. I'll be on one day this week. I'm not sure what day yet, and it's a surprise. I want you to tune in, see what day you think I'm going to be on. Take a guess. So there you go. All right, Bill. It was nice talking to you again tonight. Great show as always. You have yourself a great night.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you again. Thank you, and get well better and get better. All right.
Thank you, bro. We'll see you
You're
guys.
welcome.
Thank you,
All
viewers,
right.
listeners. Take care.
Have a good one. All right. That was Bill Cannata, also known as Billy C. I'm Ralph Williams. We're here every Monday night, 7 p.m. It's called The Way We See It. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter platforms. Until next Monday night, for Bill Cannata, I'm Ralph Williams. Have a good one. Be safe.